So to get started, search Rakuten card, which will take you to their home page. You can first scroll down to this Kado Ichiran button, which will tell you more about each of the cards. The silver card is the most basic one used only for making purchases. There's no annual fee and the spending limit is 1 million yen. The pink card is also for making daily purchases, but apparently is targeted towards women, so you can get discounts off of certain products. The spending limit is also 1 million yen. So to get started on the application, go back to the home page and click the red button. You'll be taken to this page where you can select which card you want. Next, fill out your name. If you don't have a kanji name, use katakana. The next part requires hiragana, and the third part is romaji. Here, you have to select either male or female. Then input your date of birth. Right here, write your phone number. It's best to use a Japanese number. Then write your email address. This part below is if you have an email address through your phone company, but you can just ignore that. You can choose whether or not to receive information from the company. I selected uketoru, which on the left means yes. Fill out your address. Make sure all parts are filled out with kanji and then katakana. Go kazoku ni tsuite is basically asking about your household. The first option is if you are married and have children. The second option is if you are married but don't have children. The third option is if you are not married but have children. The fourth option is if you are living alone. And the last option is if you're living with your family. Then indicate how many people are living in your household, including yourself. So if there's only one, then select the far left option. Now you have to say what type of housing you're living in. Most ALTs live in apartments, so you can select apato, which is the fifth option. However, if you're living in a house that is owned by your contracting organization, you can select company housing, which is the seventh option. Or if it's not owned by your contracting organization, / you don't know, you can select housing owned by someone other than spouse, which is right here. This section here is asking how long you've been living in Japan for. So if you've been living in Japan for less than 1 year, choose the top option. If you're paying rent, you can select shiharai ari, which is the left option. If not, select the right option. All jets are employed, so select the top button. The next option is asking about your salary. You can simply search jet salary on the internet and type in what's written depending on your employment term. The next part is asking how much money is in your bank account, but you don't need to disclose that, so choose the last option. In this section right here, just make sure that the left option is clicked. Now, this part is asking whether you are planning on using the card to make purchases or borrowing money. So the next part is just following up and seeing if you're borrowing money from a company. So ari means yes and nashi means no. The Rakuten Eri just provides another payment method, kind of like PayPay. If you're interested in joining, you can select the left option. If not, select the right. If you're living in the inaka, you most likely won't be able to use it. However, if you go to the city or plan on living in the city, you'll often have a chance to use it. This part is asking about which bank you're with. If you're in Wakanai or Toyotomi, you'll be with the Shinyo Kinko, or the credit union. Then choose a PIN code. Now go to the next page, which will take you here. For the first part, click Sonohoka, which is the last option. Then type your contracting organization name, which should either be the prefecture or town board of education or your main school. The top part should be written in kanji, and the bottom is the furigana, or the reading of the kanji. So this is just an important fact. If furigana is written in katakana, your response should be written in katakana. So in this case, because furigana is written in hiragana, your response should be written in hiragana. Then select your prefecture. Here, get permission from your contracting organization to write their phone number here. Don't write your personal phone number. Choose how long you've been working here. If it's been less than 1 year, choose the top option. In the next part, select Kyoiku, which is the 5th option. Then here, choose Komuin, which means government worker. Then choose Sonohoka, which is the last option. The last part is asking if you have a Japanese driver's license. If you only hold an IDP, indicate that you don't have a driver's license by choosing the right option. Then continue to the next page. Make a Rakuten password, then indicate whether you would like to receive newsletters. I said uketoranai, which means no. Then click the yellow button, which will take you to the page where you will start syncing up your card to your bank account. Find your bank company. Then it'll narrow it down further and you'll have to choose the name. For example, Wakanai Shinkin. Click on it and the service conditions should pop up on your screen. Scroll down and then click Tojiru. Then click Doi suru, which means you approve. Go to the next page and you'll have to input which branch you're with. So for example, if you're with the Wakanai Shinkin but in Toyotomi, search for the Toyotomi branch. On the next page, in the third box, make sure the top option is selected. Then input the last 7 digits / the last part of your cash card. Then input your PIN code that you use with your bank when you withdraw money on your cash card. Go to the next page and you're almost done. Make sure the top 2 options are selected. Click Doi suru in the gray box and then click the red button to officially confirm your application. Check your email to make sure the application went through. They should get back to you within 24 hours with a reply on whether you have passed the screening process or not. Note that it's not unusual for people to receive a rejection without them telling you why. If that happens, it doesn't hurt to go through and reapply. The first time I didn't pass the application process, but I reapplied the next day and was approved. So, like I said, it doesn't hurt to reapply. Now, I'll tell you what happens when you pass, and this is the most daunting part. You'll most likely be asked to do a phone interview, and this must be done in Japanese because they don't have English-speaking staff. Now, before you get stressed, know that it's short, and I'll just talk about what they'll most likely ask you. They'll ask you for your full name. Try to listen to the word onamae, meaning your name. Then they'll ask you for your date of birth, which is seinengappi. When you give them your birth year, it has to be in Heisei. This is something that you can search online. So, for example, if you're born in 1999, you have to say Heisei 11年, and then the month, and then the day. They will then confirm your address, so practice saying your address ahead of time. If you live in an apartment, they may or may not confirm whether or not you have a room number. After that, they'll tell you that you'll receive an email shortly, which means you passed. My card came within 3 days. So with that, I hope this video helped, and good luck with your application. Bye!